Aaron?
Yeah, Howard, I've been listening to you for 10 years. I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I turned on the station yesterday. We heard music. I didn't know what was going on. I thought maybe something happened in your personal life. Then I found out that the show's taken off in Pittsburgh, and I'm very, very upset about this.
Yeah, you got to hear this. You ready? Because we were also taking off in Orlando. You got to hear this.
Uh-huh.
All right. I think this is a letter to one of our advertisers from the station in Orlando. And by the way, we are like the biggest thing in Orlando, you know. Okay, so here it is. This is their spin on it. Right away, they had to get out a letter to their sponsors. Good morning. Well, today is a new day here on WTKS Real Radio 104. I mean, they might as well have called it Howard Stern Real Radio 104 because, I mean, I was the linchpin.
What's happening.
Yeah. So this is, late. This is probably from like one of the sales guys. It's like a form letter. Late yesterday afternoon, Clear Channel announced that we will be suspending Howard Stern in all 6 of the markets that air his Syndicate show, until he meets the company's newly revised programming standards. Gee, thanks for the warning. On Monday, Clear Channel issued a zero-tolerance policy. They issued it Monday, didn't tell anyone, and then threw me off.
Yanked you up.
Yeah. On Monday, Clear Channel issued a zero-tolerance policy when it comes to indecent programming over our company's airwaves. And then they attached the policy. What does this mean to us? Howard Stern very well may be back on the air tomorrow if he agrees to the Clear Channel zero-tolerance policy, or he may not if he doesn't agree. At this point, it's total speculation on all of our parts. What we do know is that if Howard agrees to the policy, we will be able to offer a Howard Stern product that will no longer be controversial to our advertisers. So it'll be a better product for them. And if he does not agree to the policy, we will offer a new morning show that will be true to what real radio is all about. An edgy, in-your-face entertainment talk radio station that pushes the limits without crossing the line.
Oh, my God.
It's a revolutionary time in our industry. Can you imagine the guy putting a positive spin on all this? It's a revolutionary time in our industry, and as usual, WTKS is on the cutting edge. Are they insane?
The only thing they cut was us.
Yeah, on the cutting edge. How are you on the cutting edge? You just suspended me for no reason. The FCC didn't even have a problem with me.
Revolutionary.
However, it turns out, now's an incredible time to be on this radio station. Everyone is tuning in to see what's next.
Really?
They're like, this is going to be huge. Us pulling Howard Stern off. People are going to want to tune in and see if I'm there for at least a month.
They're looking for him for a couple of months at least.
As the story unfolds to us, we will keep you informed. Strap in. It'll be a thrill ride. Can you imagine? Then it's got the guy's name and how to contact him on his main line, direct line, fax line.
Oh, yeah, because you got to get to him.
You got to get to him. There's so much excitement in the air about the firing.
Here's my 50 numbers.
Whee!
I'm sure all of them are silent.
Yeah, this is fun.
Did this all start because of the Janet Jackson incident? Is it now they're cracking down because of that?
Yep. And also the Mel Gibson movie and all the people showing up at the movie theater.
Everybody's getting their ducks in a row.
I got to put out another movie so all the people can show up at my movie and start screaming and yelling and passing out.
And dying.
Yeah, and dying.
We want somebody to die, too.
Yeah.
All they have on talk radio is politics and sports, and then you had your show, which was different than all of them. Now Pittsburgh has absolutely nothing in the morning.
Yeah, and you never will get anything now. Trust me, no one's going to put on anything edgy. And as far as this guy's letter goes, that's a bunch of crap. Well, can you believe he goes, all I know is we're on the cutting edge. You just cut the most cutting edge show.
Right.
How are you on the cutting edge?
Hey, Howard, do you think you could put me back on hold so I can listen?
Yeah, sure. Hold on. It's a shame you got to do that.
Hey, it's also a shame that Stuttering John's last days today, and now we're talking about this all the time.
Hey, you know what, though? Mel was talking to me about that. He goes, John's a traitor. I go, really? What is that all about? He goes, look, he said, what you did for this guy, there was nobody on the planet. He couldn't pick up the phone and call you beforehand or go to you in the hall. He goes, at least say to you, hey, something's up. Jay Leno's a big con man, rip-off guy. Maybe we could have done something for the guy. He goes, but he totally abandoned ship. He did it on the sly so that, nothing would get screwed up for him. He wasn't interested in staying with the show, and he wasn't interested in being with the people who had really, where would he be without us? And he says, he's dead to me.
Oh, well, I knew that. Mel, you don't leave.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he says you don't even know when you're being screwed by a dude. He goes, what? He couldn't come to you and say, hey, something's going on here, and maybe I want to be with the most cutting edge show on the planet, and not on some
Well,
wimpy.
he doesn't want that. That's for sure. You don't leave this to go to Jay Leno if you want to be cutting edge.
Yeah, and if to go on a limpy, lame show that's going to only rip off my material.
I mean, if you ask me why I'm here and why I would never go and work for another radio station.
Yeah.
It's because I want to be on this show.
Yeah,
I
so-
want to do what we do.
So Mel said he could have come. Maybe we could have done something for him financially, but no. He didn't want. But John's rap is like, well, they like me, and you guys don't. I go, well, hey, we took you and you were doing nothing.
Yeah, how do we not like you?
I
We took
invented
you off
you.
the
For
street.
15
Yeah.
years, he's been with this show, and
Yeah.
you didn't like it.
Yeah, 15 years. I don't like you.
Keep a guy around you don't like for 15.
Yeah, so at least give me the courtesy, and even Jonathan Kraft said to me, goes, how could you even look at John? He goes, what the guy doesn't give you heads up first and say, hey, this is getting serious, and I don't want to. I mean, is there any way I could stay with the show? They say he's a traitor.
He didn't even go to Tom.
No, he didn't go to
Say,
anyone.
Tom,
yeah,
I've got
Tom was
a
certainly
serious
available.
offer.
Right. No one. So he didn't want to
not
stay
true.
with the show.
Absolutely not.
Well, you have a point.
Yep.
Are you still going to be friends with him?
Yeah, I'm friends with John, but I don't know if I keep talking to Mel, I'm not going to be.
I know. Mel will talk you right out of that.
Yeah, Mel's getting me real fired up.
I was going to say, yeah, that's revving me up now.
Yeah, Mel sees things very black and white. He goes, "What?" He says, "What?
Always.
The guy couldn't track down someone from the company and
He
tell him?"
happens to be right.
Yeah, I was wondering what
You
happened
feel that way, right?
yesterday.
I 100% do. You're giving him
Tom, go
way
ahead.
much more of a pass than he deserves.
I was going to say, and how about, when we took away the midday shift, which we did last July or something like that,
Right.
continued to pay full scale. In fact, you and I talked about it, and I specifically said, I'm asking you to ask me not to cut his pay rate, and you said, I'm telling, so don't do it. Let's protect him for as long as we possibly can.
Well, we're
Yeah.
supposed to have a deal till April, actually. It was a 2-year deal that was supposed to end in April, and you cut it in December.
So there was no firm 2-year deal.
Yes, there was.
Well, then you know what?
Where are the
Then why
papers?
didn't you? If that was the case, why didn't you stand up and say, "Hey, Tom, you know what? You're not living up to your deal." And when we did, we didn't cut it all the way back. We still left 50% of the money in.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Yes, we did.
What are you talking about?
Absolutely, we did.
You left 50% of the money in?
Yeah.
When?
When your new rate started.
See, he's angry with you.
Yeah, he's
but
definitely angry about
he's
that.
definitely angry, and this was all out of anger.
It wasn't that.
But you
and,
didn't-
and by the way, my agent did call Tom and say that we're, John's trying to do other things. I just want to make sure that, and
What other things?
Other things
You
aren't
didn't get
full-time jobs
specific?
with other,
Oh,
with,
John,
with
stop.
Trying
five.
to do
Come
other
on,
things
That's
is
lame.
not.
John.
I got
that
a job
conversation.
offer.
I'm sorry, Robert, but that conversation was about you doing other special kinds of projects, and what I said to him was, we have no problem with you doing other special kinds of projects as long as we know about them up front and they're
Right.
not in conflict with the radio show.
Yeah.
Okay?
Which has always been the policy.
Can I just say one thing too? Because I feel I got to get this off my chest before you leave, John. And I'm not mad at you, but I really take offense to the fact that this whole reason why nobody knew
That was
you
lame.
couldn't tell me was because I get everything wrong, and I think that's just a cop out.
Well, no, I spoke to Robin about it.
No,
You never told me about the offer of an announcer's
And
job.
the announcer, not the announcer, but the
You never
correspondent
told.
job.
And you were turning down all those other jobs. That's what my
Mel's point of view
understanding
was, hey, John is ungrateful. That he did this on the QT. That Jay Leno's a rip-off artist. And that, if John wanted to stay with the most cutting-edge show, at least say to you, hey, something's going on here.
I've got an
It's a serious offer. It's really good money.
Well, if
Can
you really
guys
want
do
to stay
something
with
for
the
me?
most cutting-edge show, you couldn't take this offer.
And plus, you
Under
know
any
what Jay.
circumstances.
And plus, you also know what Jay's doing. I mean, Jay's taking something that he never would have put on the air in the first place if it wasn't for the fact that John was on our show, and never would have hired John ever, not out of college certainly. And so he said his point is he owed you the courtesy of coming to you first.
You remember when?
But I don't know. My point of view is, hey, he didn't want to be with me anymore.
Right, but you remember when I was, you came to New York and I was left in Washington, and they tried to hook me. I was like, I can't do that.
Right.
And they were offering me big money to do it,
That's true.
more
And you had
money
no
than I
job.
had ever made in my life. I went somewhere else.
I was
Didn't do
under
it.
the impression that you were leaving in 2 years. Also.
So what? I say that all the time.
Well, no, but you seem to really be serious about it this time.
So what would happen if I left in 2 years?
Well, I don't want you to have to worry about me.
no, but I think Howard's
How do you
point.
know
was,
Jay Leno's going to be with you in 2 years? You don't
Yeah,
know.
honey,
anything.
Jay Leno could drop dead tomorrow.
and I think Howard's point was if he's leaving in 2 years or not, it's why not have that discussion with him?
Yeah, let me sit down with you and say, you know what, John, that's a good idea,
never got
maybe,
the
because I might leave in 2 years.
You said you don't want to talk to me.
You know you miss.
You said you did not want to talk to me.
Stop it. You found me the morning after you signed the contract and you talked to me.
Robin, so why'd you say to me,
No,
you've done all you can do?
There are a whole bunch of conversations you had with
said you've
Howard
done
about
all you
other
can do.
things that I
I've
didn't
never
know
talked
about,
business with you.
and you could have brought it up then
Wait a
because it
second.
was
I never
just you
talked
and
business
him.
with you
You
since
had-
Just you
since
and
that
him.
conversation.
You know what I was talking about. I'm not going to go through it with you again. I said to you, I don't want to hear about your cockamamie schemes
Your
anymore.
business.
That's right.
Pull
I
the
don't
tape.
want to. The same what Tom's talking about. Not about if you. It's a big difference if you're leaving the show.
Right.
Come on, John. I'm talking about, you know what I didn't want to talk about? All your cockamamie, Stuttering
book,
John tour, your book,
yeah.
your this, your that, the other thing. I said, talk to Gary, let him know, and I will talk to you on a case-by-case basis, or I'll tell Gary. When you were leaving the show, that's a whole different ball game, and you had no problem picking up the phone the day the contract was
And those
signed
other things
and
you
telling
talked to me about were in addition to the show. You were never leaving the show with those other things either. You never told me when you were leaving the show.
I told you that I was going to be looking to do a sitcom or things like that.
Yeah, looking is one thing.
And
getting the job is
that's
different.
not the same. Well, that's not what we're talking about.
I know.
Because
By
you
the way,
talk to
telling you,
Mel,
I'm
so
telling
suddenly
you, this is what
your
he
whole
said.
thing is going to change because you talk to Mel.
I didn't say that.
All right.
I'm telling you what Mel said, and he made
Yeah,
some
well,
good points.
I don't know a guy who's ever left here that has left on a good note, no matter
Oh, sure
how.
they have.
Sure they have.
Yeah, like who?
Scott
Can I ask a
Einziger.
question?
No,
Can I ask a
Scott
question?
He left,
didn't leave.
he left on a great note. We were still friends. You're
Hey,
wrong.
All right.
Are you doing other work?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I doing other work?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have a deal at
Right.
ABC.
And is it,
How do we know
ever
about
been
that?
an issue?
No, it's not. Never been.
Okay.
It's never been. But that was in my contract when
No, I
I signed
understand.
here originally
Right.
that I could do other stuff.
And I had an understanding that
Tom,
that would also be.
If Mel was happy about it and everything was fine, you'd be happy about it.
No,
Everything would be
Tom-
fine. Come on.
Tom, by the
Oh,
way,
I don't
Thomas
think
said
that's true.
exactly.
Please.
This conversation took place well before he ever had dinner with Mel last night.
And you know what's weird, Howard? For 15 years, I've been paid literally nothing. So suddenly I'm supposed
How
to...
did you get two homes?
know what?
So suddenly, because every weekend I'm out on...
Oh.
I'm not blaming you for it, but I'm saying suddenly I'm going to... I'm
Maybe you would have. Maybe he would have. So maybe he would have seen you to
And,
give him a shot.
and I've talked to Mel. Two years ago, I've had a long conversation begging
All right,
him
but
to
the
help
point
me
is,
get paid.
why wouldn't
I
you
still
come
made
and
nothing.
say to anyone?
I still made nothing.
Why wouldn't you come to someone and say you got another job offer?
Right. That's what it would
That's
have
what you
taken
do.
for you guys to pay me like a...
Maybe, yeah.
That's what it takes in any business.
That's the way it is. You gotta use things to your advantage.
Well, I mean...
Do you think I get paid here? I get paid because Mel's afraid that someone else is going to make me a better money offer.
Yeah, but Tom didn't believe I can do anything else.
What are you talking about?
But the
Even when
How
I
do you
told him
know?
I got the job, he's like, "No way!
Wait,
Like, get out of here,
John, we
you!"
gave-
everybody
we gave you a
said
midday
that.
show, right?
Well,
We gave
John,
you an
you
hour every
can't
day
do
of the day.
anything
Yeah,
else.
you
What are you
goofed me about
doing?
it the whole
You're
time.
being the stuttering announcer.
All right, so then
But the
see what I'm
point
saying?
You
So that's
can't
the
do anything
mentality.
else.
So who
You're the
cares?
stuttering John.
All right, so then
point
I
that
suck.
Mel was
Right. I didn't say you sucked.
The point that Mel was making is you don't love this show.
Of course, I love this show.
No, you want to go do
Howard, I gave you 15 years of
pale
loyal.
imitation of this
15
show.
years of loyal service.
Because
I don't
nobody
love
else
this
wanted
show.
you.
No, because I love you.
No,
and I
because
love
no one
this
else
show.
wanted you.
You know what?
The first offer you got, you ran off.
I
You
can't
didn't come to
you
anybody.
around.
You did. Wait a second.
He's
Mel's right
now
about one thing.
gonna go and sit and make and pretend that Jay Leno is as funny as you.
Yeah, I know, and that's going to be interesting.
That's your hell.
That's going to be. That's going to
what
be
I'm
Jay
interesting.
talking
Leno
about.
is funny. So
Okay,
stop.
all right. You're going to really say that. You're going to say Jay's funny.
Jay Leno's one of the best stand-ups in the world, Howard.
Okay, is Jay Leno's Tonight Show funny?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyway, so John is leaving, and I do wish you well. And I don't
I just
care
hope
what
that you're not
Mel
gonna
says.
get Mel's,
No, I told you.
thing in your
I
head
told you
because-
I wished you well, and I do wish you well, and have a good time on the Tonight Show. Seriously, have a good time. I know that Jay's a very honorable guy and will treat you well. So you're in for a good ride, and I do wish you well. And you are a friend of ours. And despite Mel never saying that you're dead to him, and Tom saying you're dead to him, I didn't say you were dead to me. So I wish you good luck.
Hey, Howard, I got one more question about Jay Leno.
Yes.
If Stuttering John, if it doesn't work out between him and Jay Leno, let's say in 6 months, and he gets rid of him, will you rehire him?
No. No, that I absolutely wouldn't. I'm going to have someone to replace him very soon, actually.
And I wouldn't blame you.
No, it's not because I don't like you.
No, I know.
I'm
train
going to
keeps
take that
moving.
budget.
Of course, of course.
I have to move forward.
Of course, I know.
And you know what? I do love John.
He's
And I'm
great.
going to be sad to see John go. He's a great guy.
Oh, he is.
And but no, I'm not going to be disloyal to somebody new
You mean I
and
could
say,
apply for an internship?
intern, you can always
You can
intern.
start all over
You
again.
start all over again. You'll be fine. You'll do just fine.
Who's going going to be the king of gossip? Who's going to come in with the private stuff no one else will have the guts
That's a
to
tough
talk
one.
That's a big hole.
Yeah,
That's a
that's a
big
hole.
shoes to fill.
That's these shoes.
Yeah,
that-
John, and despite that John thinks I don't think he's talented, I do. No one is on the show because I think they're untalented. Everybody here is talented. Not you, Gary. All right. Not you, Tom. Certainly not you.
me. And I never claimed to be.
Who's funnier, Letterman or Leno, John?
Leno. I hate Letterman.
Oh, Leonard, please.
John.
Oh, not even.
Hold on a
close,
second.
John.
I
Leonard.
swear to God, may I die right now. I think that David Letterman is so arrogant.
Bury him.
And no, I swear to God. Artie, haven't I said this to you privately for years?
Since, I haven't said this to you since I've
Actually,
been
John has
negotiating.
said that to me. I completely
I
disagree.
so don't like David
Since
Letterman.
when?
I so don't like him.
Since
I think he
when?
thinks his S don't stink.
But
I
you're
swear
saying
to
Jay's
God.
funny. Jay Show is funny.
First of all, David Letterman saw Jay Leno doing stand-up
Sore?
and said, "That's what I." That is a pro.
No,
you know
no,
that?
you got
That's
the story
stand-up.
wrong.
No,
It
I
was
don't.
Leno who saw Letterman.
No, you got the story wrong. How much you want to bet, Fred?
Go back and read The Late Shift.
Yeah.
That was the book. Basically,
How much you wanna
Leno,
bet, Fred?
I will bet you your job.
All right. There you
If
go.
I happen to be right, you quit.
You're going to bet John $1.5 million?
no. He has
Would
to
you
quit.
bet Fred that?
I'm not going to bet the job.
Ah, okay. All right. Yeah. So you're wrong.
You know, I mean, listen.
Besides that, why would I trust a liar?
First of all, Letterman was a stand-up. You know, Fred. He was.
You feel John's a liar?
A total liar.
Why?
Because that you pointed it out like 5 seconds ago. If he really wanted to get a hold of you, he would have called you.
Right.
Like you made a good point. And this, I've been.
You know,
holding-
I could only go-
And I've been holding on to this one for quite some time too. He was blaming Gary for screwing up some information.
Yeah.
Now, about a year ago, did you not go on Celebrity Get Me Out of Here?
Yeah.
You were in this studio asking Howard for permission.
Yeah.
To go. You said, I need 2 weeks.
Yes, I thought it was 2 weeks. Then I pulled Gary
And then you
aside.
blamed
I
Gary.
pulled Gary aside a week later and told him it was 3 weeks.
week
Told
later.
Steve Kingston the
week
same
later.
thing. Freddie,
A week
why don't you
later.
get Steve Kingston on the phone and ask him how many weeks that
I don't care.
yeah.
I don't care what Steve Kingston said. I just
sit
saw
there
what I
and
saw.
Don't sit there and
that
accuse
day.
me of lying, Fred, when I didn't lie.
did.
I told Gary 3 weeks, buddy.
And- and
I
then-
swear to
and
God,
then you
in
have
Gary's
the
office.
nerve.
You never told me.
Stab
You
me.
have the nerve
I
to
swear to
blame
God,
I want to
did.
stab you.
I
I swear to God, I
Then
did.
you have the nerve
How come
to
a
blame
week?
Gary.
How come a week?
I have the nerve because that's what happened, Fred.
And
Were you in the office, Fred,
also,
with me and
also,
Gary?
I have another
Huh?
point. Hold on. One more point. One more point.
Were you in the office with me and Gary, Fred?
One more point,
Huh?
John.
At least have a witness,
John,
Fred.
one more point.
No one. There is no witness, John. It's me against you.
Yeah,
Right.
that's right.
Fred, did you
One
remember?
more.
One
I
more
had one
point.
more
One
point,
more
John.
point.
So you can really blow your stack. I got an email about 2 weeks ago saying you bought a house in California.
Yeah.
Sent the email.
Untrue.
Oh, but do you have a house in California?
You
Is
named
it
the
bought?
town. You named the town. B, you got the price wrong. And C, I don't
But
want to.
did you buy a house in California?
It doesn't matter.
Yes
I
or
don't
no?
want to go
Did
on
you
the
buy
air
a
and say
house
where I'm living.
in
Howard, did you?
California
He's just asking if you bought a house in
Yes.
California.
before you announced on this show and before you told
Yes,
Howard?
yes.
Okay.
Okay,
Case
so.
closed.
So how long did you know about it?
I mean, so what does
I'd
that
say
mean?
there's some
Was it an
deception.
By the way,
It's
hold
gonna
on a
take a
second.
month.
No. Hold on.
Some deception
Hold on.
afoot,
Here's the
John.
truth, Howard. Here's.
Oh, here's the truth.
When it
He wasn't
serves
even
your
listening
purpose,
to
you
me.
tell the truth.
If I want to, first of all, I don't have to buy that house. Okay, that's A. B. If I want, I could flip that house already for an incredible profit.
But that
So
doesn't make
what?
it
Not why you
so
bought it.
wait a second.
That's not his
In my
point.
head, there was a thing in my contract
In
that.
your head, there's a bat flying around.
All right, Freddie. Here's the deal.
I can't wait for the first
gotta
bit
get the
that he
last
steals.
There was a thing in my
Wow.
You
contract.
can't wait for what?
The first bit that he steals.
There was a
with
thing
Wow.
in my contract, Howard, that might not have happened. It wasn't until the last day that it was finally negotiated. I might not have ever signed the contract. And if that happened, I was prepared to sell that house in 2 seconds and turn it over.
And if you signed,
Why
you were
would you
prepared
buy
to
But
move
you
in
did have a
yesterday.
house. What's that
Contract.
got to do
Yeah.
with anything?
You were serious
because
enough.
I could have used it as an investment.
You were
Robin.
serious enough
An
about that.
incredible investment.
But you
Just
had
as
a
good as my
house.
Boy,
Manhattan
you're
was.
delusional.
You had a
I'm
house.
delusional.
You, are,
You don't
you were
buy a
serious.
house in California
Right, first
unless
of all-
you're pretty sure you're
first of all,
going.
Howard,
Why don't you
the
buy a house in
California
New York
state
if you wanna
rules are
make a big
different.
investment?
I don't have to put 10%
No,
down.
but you love to invest. Why do you have to invest in
You know what?
California? No, but why? Think about it.
You got to
Sit
go out
here.
there and look for the house.
I'm buying a
fact, I
house
do
in
work
North
for the
Dakota,
Tonight Show.
too.
Right,
I
but,
would
so
do
you
the
were serious
immigration.
about it
Yeah,
even
yeah,
early
yeah,
on.
you know?
Yeah. I wanted the job.
That's what he said.
So that's all we've said.
But the truth is,
You want the job.
no, yeah. Oh no, of course I wanted
Right.
the job.
Okay.
But I
So
mean,
you can go work for a watered down show. You don't need to be on the cutting edge. That's all Mel said.
This is some farewell.
I was working.
It's a sellout.
No. Robin, I don't make any money here. I make a very
Maybe you
small
would have.
amount of money.
So why couldn't
For
you come and say?
15 years.
So why didn't you
So
come
I didn't
and
expect
say it
Tom
to him?
to ever pay me.
Oh,
In fact,
come on.
hold on a second. I was once in Tom's office, And Tom told
All right,
me.
here we go. Right. I'd rather die than give you a raise. How many times are you going to use that line?
And did he give you a raise, though?
Is that not
He
true?
did.
No, he didn't that time.
Sure he did.
No,
But
he
he's
didn't.
given you
Yes,
one
he did.
since.
And by the way,
Giving you since.
since.
By the way,
And that's not the conversation. The other conversation, what you and Steve sat there and told me, what else are you going to do anyway? I mean, John, I mean.
So you're angry. That's why you did
but
it.
I'm saying Tom
You're being
suddenly,
dishonest then.
somehow I was going to get money from Tom.
Maybe,
Ask everybody in this company.
Maybe
if
in light
that's-
of the fact that you got a job, you use it.
Ask
You
Gary.
come to me. Listen, forget about Tom. You come to me and you say, "Hey, I got a job. What do you think? You think maybe this will break Tom's bank?" You say it.
Well,
You do it.
I don't think Tom would ever.
It's
pay
okay.
me.
You wanted to
Because Tom's
leave.
never paid me in the past.
So now
And
the
Tom-
anger's
and
coming
Tom
out.
is never paying anybody in the past.
I wouldn't know about that.
Well, ask anyone in this company. I could bring 20 people in here to say, "Does Tom pay you?"
But even I said to you, it's better to have two people wanting
hasn't
you
even given
than
Artie a raise
just
in 2
one.
years.
But
You
why not
probably
go-
could have gotten
but why
more
not-
money out of Leno.
But why not say, "Hey, maybe I could play this off"?
Right.
Because you wanted to go.
No,
to
because I thought that was dishonorable. Sit and try and play.
No,
Why?
come
That's
on.
what
Why?
you do.
Oh, when are you worried about being
Howard,
honorable?
when you came to the company almost 20 years ago, and
Howard.
your agent, excuse me, I was talking. Your agent negotiated with Mel, and
You're dead to me.
Did he just come and say, "Hey, this is the only place I want to work"? Or did he say, "Listen, we have other offers, and there's a certain value that's being established for the show, and this is where you've got to be in order to
Yeah,
get
you
it."
state your case.
Would you say to Mel Howard, "I got another offer, Mel, pay me more"?
Yeah.
Sure. That's
Really?
what I did my
All
last
right.
contract.
That wouldn't piss him off?
No, he
No,
said
he's
to
a
me. He
businessman.
goes, "What?" He said to me, "What's the offer?" I said, "I'm not even comfortable telling you about it." And he said, "Okay, I know that you're honorable. I know that you're telling me the truth. What are they offering you?" I said, "I'm not even going to tell you that, but I need certain things out of this job." By the way, I still didn't get a raise, but okay. I tried. I decided to stay here because I'm loyal to
You know
Mel.
what? You're looked upon a lot differently here than me, and
That's
as well
not
you
the
should.
Not by
point.
me.
That's not
As
the
well you
point.
should.
Not by
I'm just
me.
saying-
Missing
Not
the
by me.
point.
I think the point everyone's trying to make is that if you can
right,
I
well,
just say
then-
the words? Can I just say the words? If you would have gone into Tom and Howard and said,
Not
I got
even
this
Tom, Howard.
I got this amazing.
How
Hold on,
many
can I
times-
finish?
Wait.
I got this
How
amazing
many times have I
deal.
pulled you aside and said, "Howard,
Oh,
Tom's not
you're-
paying me. Is there anything you could do?"
He's
Broken
not
record.
hearing
You're not hearing
anything.
it.
That's
This
not
is a
what
different
Gary's telling
situation.
you. You
would've-
should have said.
If you would have gone to Howard and said,
I might have been able to go to Tom. I might have been able to go to Tom and say, "Hey, there's a real danger of John leaving."
There's the market, for
and
John
even
has
if Howard
changed.
heard the numbers or didn't know the numbers, and you said to Howard, it's life-changing money. All right, we can say that.
Yeah.
Howard might have said, "You know what, John? I can't compete with that. Go." And I
Hey,
think
Ralph, you're on
everybody
the
would
air.
have felt better about themselves.
Ralph, go ahead. You're on the air.
Now you're
Let
in
me
for it.
guess.
Go ahead, Ralph.
You know,
Yeah.
John.
Oh, here we go, Ralph.
No, I listen. I'm real
Yeah,
happy for you.
okay.
Everybody is, but you know,
Here we go.
I think Howard. Part of this was like an "F you, look what I can do."
Right.
No,
you
it
know,
wasn't.
Yeah, I
can't do
know.
anything
And then,
else
you know what?
over-
That's okay. I'm
And I
fine with it.
understand
And
that,
in all
And I-
seriousness, can I say something?
Well, I haven't said they were acting like they loved
By the way,
John.
I know. And John needs a lot of love.
That's
And let me just say
right.
something. He's angry after 15 years. But listen to me. I do love John. And despite.
I love you.
Yeah,
Oh, wait,
that's right.
wait, Joe, John.
And Ralph, I'll tell you if I love you. We'll see how this conversation goes.
John, why couldn't you just? I don't understand for all these excuses and buying a house and doing this. Why couldn't you pick up the phone and say to Howard, hey, you call him to go to dinner, you call him to do this, you call him to do that, you call him for 900 other things. This is a pretty damn important thing. Why can't you pick up the phone and say to him, hey, listen, I got a great offer for the Tonight Show? You don't think he can, maybe he'd be really happy for you, and he is.
I would have. I am.
So why?
But I would have at least said to him, hey, John, let me go talk to Tom. Maybe this is the wedge we can throw into Tom's tight
Yeah, you
pocket.
could
There's
found out
a
how much
concept
love
called
there was
bid
in
and
the
ask.
air.
I would have.
There's a concept called value of the market. Stocks are worth something because people are willing to pay that for
That's
them.
right.
If somebody's
He's
willing
right.
to pay more,
And-
then
In
they
In other
bid
words,
the
you'll
price
pay
up
everybody
for it.
nothing
No, no.
until somebody else.
No, he
I'm
doesn't
willing
pay
to pay what the
everybody.
market,
I know
what the
you're-
market dictates for
Yeah,
somebody.
I know you're insulted that you would want Tom to give you the money rather than have to give you the money, but how do you care how you get the money?
You know, usually, Gary, in a lot of companies, when you do a good job,
Of course,
the freaking
but-
boss
Now,
pays
how
you.
do
not
you know
always.
about other
Yeah.
companies?
You never
trust
worked for another company.
What are you, Firestone, when you drove the truck? That was your job before here.
Also, in a lot of companies, if you don't do your job, they fire you.
All
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying is,
John-
And also, John,
you know what, Tom could be
Also, in a lot of
Let it all-
companies,
let the
when
money
you
roll.
leave,
Tom's
when you're
fault.
late,
when you
No
leave
problem.
for a week and you don't tell anyone, they
Yeah, you don't show
they-
up.
you know what I mean? They don't often
Howard,
do that.
In all truth, and
by the way, John, how
And a
many
lot of
years-
companies, they'll
I did
fire
wanna
you
work
if
for
you
the
say
Tonight Show.
something off
Howard,
color
here's the
for a
thing.
morals clause.
I wanted to work
we
for the
don't.
Tonight Show. I mean,
Well,
it's-
that's
like,
what
I
we're
didn't wanna
saying,
work
and that's
for it.
what Mel said.
That's what we're
He didn't
saying.
want to work for a cutting-edge
John, how
show.
many years
He
you
didn't want to
getting-
be out here.
You wanna
He
work for
wanted
the Tonight
to
Show.
go run
I
somewhere
like to work
safe.
here too. Too bad I couldn't do both.
But John, why didn't you call Howard?
You know what? It doesn't matter.
You know what?
Hey, listen.
Robin knows how. Hold on.
It's okay. Listen.
No,
I
no,
gotta-
no, no,
I gotta
please
take a
take
break.
a break. Let me just finish
It's
this.
fine.
You know what? Don't even get the last word.
No, it's not just Howard. You know how badly I felt after that conversation.
Callie, go ahead.
You would want, especially when there was this
And
offer
Robin,
on the table that you were going to take.
you
Then
told
I
me-
noticed you got awfully quiet,
quote,
even around me,
John,
John.
you've done all you can
Callie,
do.
go ahead.
Even around me, you got awfully quiet.
Again,
You didn't
Robin's
even
talking.
call me
You've
and
done
tell
all
me.
you can do.
You didn't
You know,
even
Howard,
call
this
me
is-
and
Hold on.
tell
Let me let Callie say a word. Go ahead, Callie.
Yo, John, it's Callie, the guy you always hang up on. Remember me?
You mean the guy I put through about 2,000 times?
Yeah, a few times, but you always hang up. You're the worst phone screener.
Sometimes
You
I
have a
have to
life
say,
because of Howard, and you're a loser. You're a traitor, and good riddance. And you know what? When you do lose your job with Leno and you sell your house, your whole life will go down the drain.
I don't wish that on
That's
John.
not what
I don't
we're
wish it
talking
on him,
about.
you know what?
I don't
But that's
care.
what it's going to be, because the
All
point
right,
is,
all right. Listen.
And John is
We're gonna-
making one more point. He's that I said, and that was at the time you were turning down.
Oh,
the
yeah, Robin? So why wouldn't you
correspondent
call
job.
me on the phone
Excuse me,
over the weekend?
Excuse me.
Not her
Listen
job.
to me. All right, listen to me now. You had turned down the correspondent job,
Yeah.
and you were trying to talk to Howard about things you really, and how you felt about yourself and what you really wanted to do.
And
if there was,
I hadn't turned it down
excuse
yet.
me,
I hadn't turned it down yet. I was going to ask him about it.
You said you were going to turn it down, and that's when I said you've done all you can do. He doesn't want to talk right now.
Right
Then-
now. Very key
then-
words.
He said to me, "Hey, Jay Leno's
You've done all you can
Jay
do.
Leno's trying to take
Excuse
one of your
me.
bits. I would talk to him
Excuse me.
anytime."
Excuse me.
Yeah.
You also did not ever come to me and say, "Well, Robin, now I've got a real job offer that would take me away from
Right.
here. What do I do?" You
It's a
never
big difference.
And
did that.
he told me that that's exactly what did happen, Robin. We talked about that yesterday. You told me that you spoke to Robin. She knew about this job.
No, she
she
didn't.
said you could do all you could
I
do.
said that you
No,
knew about
no,
the
no, no,
correspondent
no.
aspect
And
of the job.
I said there's no
that is
way you
exactly
can
Another
take
example of me
that
getting
job.
it wrong, John.
All right, listen.
It is. That's
listen,
why I'm so
John.
scared to
It's
talk
all
to you.
water
And
under
I'm
the
not
bridge.
the only guy who's afraid of
It's all
You know what?
water under
Believe
the
me, a
bridge.
lot of people
Luckily-
know that you screw up stories.
Yeah,
Gary.
well, luckily no fear left, John. Beat it.
Anyway, John, good luck.
Be
on your
afraid
new
no
job.
more. Fly away, my young man.
What is it, Vinny?
Oh, let me guess
You're
this.
so freaking clueless.
Yeah,
15 years, no one's going to give you money. You have to have a better job offer to get more money from your boss. They don't just hand it to
Debbie.
you. You only do what you did if you want to leave, and you wanted to leave.
Yeah,
Admit
I'm
it.
not
You
saying
just
I
couldn't
did.
wait to get out.
I'm not saying I did.
You couldn't wait to get out. And you know what? You're crazy. So many people would kill for that job. I would almost kill for that job and take a pay cut
Tried to.
working with one of the funniest, legendary guys in show business. You're an idiot.
He is
You're
one
a
of the
freaking
funniest.
idiot, John. Go.
I have
leave now.
taken pay
John,
cuts
leave
to
right
be
now.
here.
Go kiss Letterman's ass.
Robin actually has, but that's irrelevant. John, I do
You
wish
know
you
I
luck.
love you, Howard.
Love you too. Good luck being with Jay, and let's
I hope it's as much fun.
let's hope it's fun.
And I'll tell you one more thing. There's one more
Rob,
thing.
hold it, Rob.
One more thing.
Wait,
One more
wait.
thing. Because he's saying he wouldn't go to you. I went to Howard when somebody else was offering me more money to stay with them instead
I guess
of
I
working
misconstrued
with
you.
him.
So,
excuse me.
So why when you were on the phone with me this weekend, you were like, John, you,
Excuse me.
again, reiterating, you've
Excuse
done all
me.
you can do.
I said you did all you could do then, but the
Is Robin
concept-
wrong
the,
too?
the world
She's changing her
changed, and
tune, yeah,
again,
I'm sure you're used to that.
Again, excuse
Oh, really?
me, excuse
Okay.
me, you never came to me and told me this. There was nothing you could do then. You never said, I now have a firm job offer, Robin. I think I'm going to
Howard
take it.
said, do not talk to me
I
about
was
business.
going to make another point. The point was, I went to you when somebody was offering me more money to do what I do for them and not go with Howard. And Howard said, Robin, you have got to take it. You cannot turn that down.
This is why you're making millions of dollars.
Hold
Robin.
it a second.
I decided to turn it down.
Robin, wait, I'm going to tell you something, just so you know, and I'm not suggesting you needed to do this. Robin came to me. NBC had hired me. They would not hire Robin. We had a real problem on our hands. They had promised me they were doing it.
Yeah.
She came to me, and she said to me, listen, I've been offered a huge amount of money to stay here and work with the grease man.
Right.
And she told me the amount of money was staggering, more than you're making now with your new job. I said, you have to
And
take
believe
it.
me, I was making nothing.
And we
Here's the
weren't even on
difference.
good terms.
Here's the difference.
She had
Robin was the co-host of the Howard
Excuse
Stern
me,
show.
I wasn't
I
even
would-
the co-host.
you know what she was
I am the
making?
alleged
I was
phone
not
answer of
even
the Howard
making
Stern show.
$20,000 a year.
I was not making any money.
She
I
was
not
making
any co-host.
$20,000 a
on-air
year.
talent.
Is it money or a job, John? Which is it?
You're on the air more than she was then. She only did
That's
the news.
right.
And she was making 20 grand. They offered her way plus $300,000.
It's not only about the money.
Please. It was a 5-year deal. It
I
was
want to work on the tonight.
amazing money at that time in my life.
1980s money.
1980s money.
1980s money. And she came to me and said, they're doing this because they want a piece of you. And I said, you've got to do it anyway, which is what I would have actually said to you. If Tom wouldn't come through with money, I'd say, you've got to go do it because you got to support your family.
And do you think Tom would have came through with...
I think maybe he would have come up with something. I don't know. I don't know how much money you're
If you had my experience with Tom Howell, you would never think that he would come up with
This is different.
This
You're
is
leaving.
different.
John, we had a market. You and I dealt with what the market was for John when you and I negotiated.
But you're going to miss the last part of the story.
John, the odds of getting the Jay Leno money was about 0 to none.
Right.
I know
this
that.
is a fluke thing.
That's what
I wasn't going to get that kind of money to go work at
that's
NBC.
what I
And I went to work at NBC for less than
They wanted Robin to stay there to give the
You saw the
grease man
potential for you to make some money here.
They wanted.
I don't.
Here, this was in Washington.
Well, that's what I'm
we had
saying.
nothing.
With you.
We were separating our business. She said, I will not work for the grease man.
I can't do it.
She went to Baltimore, couldn't get a job. Finally got a job as a newswoman. God only knows what they were paying you. It was a horrible job.
Yeah, it was the same sort of deal. I was back
and
to
I
where
said
I was,
to Robin,
square one.
and I said to Robin, I swear to you, I will do everything I can to reunite us.
And question my loyalty. I've been here for 15 years.
I'm not questioning your loyalty.
I would take a punch for you.
No, but you could have called me up.
How could you sit here and tell me that I haven't been loyal?
Jay,
that is unbelievable.
You could. I didn't say you were disloyal.
All right, thank
I said you might have handled it a different way.
All right, well, maybe I would have. I'm not saying.
Right, I wish you luck. Listen, I wish you luck. What can I tell you? I really do. I got a great bit coming up, and now I have taken time away from people who are grieving in 6 markets of losing my
that
show.
really is upsetting.
Trust me, if Jay Leno goes off in 6 markets, no one's going to grieve.
One thing I wish, Howard, is that I was here to fight the good fight with you.
You have left the good fight. You have left the good fight.
You went off somewhere else.
Well, I didn't know that was
Go
going to happen.
to safety and security.
How did I know
you?
that?
I guarantee you, the government, as long as there's a Jay Leno, the government will never argue with Jay because he will never say anything to
That's
piss
right.
them
He'll
off.
go, what do you want me to say? I'll say right
And
now.
I do wish you luck in your family, and they're a good family.
Yeah, you
and
can
that's
write
it.
that joke.
Absolutely.
All right. Now, we've said our goodbye to John. He's dead. Come on in, Stuttering John.
Bert, can I ask you a question for WXRK? Tape for broadcast? What's the best thing about a dinner theater? The dinner or the theater?
You know what? I wish I could crap in your mouth.
I'm gonna
You
be
make me
laughing.
sick.
I wish I could see
You
that.
make me sick.
Can you urinate in front of other people?
Absolutely not.
Do you ever fart in your hand and smell it?
Never.
Let me ask you, aren't you tired of bad actors like Jackie Chan doing action films? Can you scream in that gay voice for me?
I really can't. It's too early in the morning.
Why'd you hit me the last time?
I didn't hit you.
Yeah, remember you punched me right in the nose.
Oh, you got delusions.
Are they drooping yet?
Oh.
Don't you hate it when people call you Denzel?
No.
Ellen, does penis make you ill?
John Bird doesn't watch around, so we're not. You can't
Can I
get
ask
the
him?
table. No, you can't.
Now, Bert, Howard Stern. What do you think of Howard Stern, Bert?
John?
I win $1,000 run! I win! How many times a day do you vomit?
Oh, Tim, man, I'm a big fan. Tim, please. I'm not a big fan. You're a provocateur, and I don't have anything to do with you.
I can do what? He's the one. No, he's the one who's. Don't lift me. You're like, you're not gonna lift me. You know, you can't be lifting me. I don't understand.
What should I do now?
Oh no, I broke the window.
He pushed the virgin out the window.
Cry. There you go. Keep crying. You got a set of balls on you, bro.
Always thinking.
You really do.
Ow! Jesus, there it goes. You want me? You want me?
I didn't say anything to you, sir. Hey, don't you...
Come on, Tabby!
You, man.
Man.
Here we go, round one underway. Big right hand by Stuttering John, and they lock up. What a round. Another right.
All three judges are unanimous. The winner, Stuttering.
Can I thank my wife, Susanna, who's been the greatest to me? I love you all.